What's the worst date you've ever been on?
Worst date? Probably with this one right here. Oh, that one right there.
Oh, no.
This one's been around the block a couple times. So is this one. That's 50 Cent. That's 50 Cent. That's 50 Cent. Hey, we call it 50 Cent because she's been with many men. We call it 50 Cent. She's been with many men.
The girl's a bizzle, fam. What's wrong with you, cuz? Where did you meet her? How did you meet her?
Everything you do in the dark eventually comes to the light. Unfortunately for this girl, her reputation followed her to the camera. And this guy was taking no prisoners. He woke up that day and said he's going to expose all the bizzleness. She tried to run away, but I think it was a bit late at that point.
My boyfriend turned red pill, and at this point we haven't spoke for about a month. And I can't cope with the fact that someone who I saw is so compassionate and thoughtful and intelligent, so caring and open-minded, just completely did a 180. They were just so supportive and caring, and even when I would have my self-sabotaging episodes, they still loved me. I feel like red pill men stole my future husband from me because I really thought this was the person.
Or maybe he just couldn't be asked to deal with the self-sabotaging moments anymore. He's probably tired of that shit. And of course she's not going to blame herself. She's going to blame other people.
You know, you play video games. Probably a competitive person.
Yep.
If I was to, you know, take you out. Either a nice little Dave and Buster's so we have a variety of games to play. Either that or bowling.
Oh, I do like, you know, playing with balls. That's always fun.
Shit, I like putting my fingers in holes.
Pause.
Who would win in a game of one-on-one? Brianna Stewart or Trey Young?
Brianna Stewart. She's the best.
Trey, because he's got all facets of the game. Been playing longer than Brianna.
You don't think she could just stuff him? Game over?
Yeah, that could be possible.
Brianna, easy. She's better, more well-rounded. She'll block the shit out of him.
I think Trey Young.
Brianna Stewart.
She's a goat. Stewart. She plays such a dynamic game.
Trey Young. Trey Young can hit from anywhere.
Stewie. She can do it all.
Stewart, because I think Young would underestimate her.
Definitely Brianna Stewart.
You know, a lot of these people just want to say, you know, because he's a dude, they just don't want to say it.
Brianna Stewart's GOAT status, so I think I have to go with her. Tough matchup, but I think she can do it.
I'll give it to Brianna. She's got the height. It'll be close. It's a tough one to compare.
Come on, man. That's too easy.
You got a lot of attention for a video that you didn't want to go out, but it went out, right?
No, that's not true.
What happened?
What happened was I was just being famous, and one of my viewers reposted the clip.
What do you mean you were just being famous? How do you be famous?
Yeah, how do you do that?
I guess just being like gorgeous, beautiful, amazing, talented, and just a celebrity, you know?
So you're gorgeous,
beautiful, amazing, and
talented, and
don't sound it to me.
Celebrity.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, I can't just not be gorgeous, so I just don't really care, you know?
And how do you define famous?
Me. I knew I was born famous, a superstar.
And
nah, she's got to be joking, surely.
No, but no, hold on.
You finished?
This has to be rage bait, or she's just a prime example of low IQ. It's one of those.
So the ultimate reason that 80% of divorces are filed by women is because we are selfish and self-centered, and we put our own unhappiness ahead of the commitments that we made in being a wife and oftentimes a mother. And we are grossly misguided to think that our happiness is in some other relationship or other.
And money's a big part of that as well. Probably the biggest one.
There's some other form of a lifestyle.
Money, that profit will make me wallet fat.
Yeah, and on top of that, I think social media plays a big part in this. I mean, girls can go on Instagram, even if they look like a flipping wildebeest. They can get 50 to 100 DMs a day, and all it takes is one argument and she'll be messaging another dude for a shoulder to cry on. And on top of that, some girls will vent their relationship problems on Facebook or any social media, and a lot of girls just give horrible dating advice because they want to see another girl fall or be just as unhappy as them.
My husband says he's upset with me because, in his words, "Sweetie, you need to stop spending so much money on DoorDash. Ordering it 3 times a day is not appropriate, and we need to start living within our means." Honey, it sounds like you have an income problem, not that I have a spending problem. Start earning more money and we won't have these.
I think she's got a bizzleness problem as well, because wasn't she cheating on her husband with all these rappers and that? What a donut.
issues. So I took his credit card that we share and I booked a vacation for my daughter Richard and I. We're staying in a hotel tonight and I hope he enjoys that I charged $8,000 to his credit card. Make more money, darling.
She belongs to the streets.
Do you know what's funny? The last time we did a video on her, she got my video taken down. So she thought I might skip on this opportunity to talk about her again. Ain't gonna happen. This is that Bobby, whatever her name is. You might have seen her floating around. She did interviews with Drake and all these rappers. And basically, she cheated on her husband with all these people, became a Prestige 10 level 1000 bizzle. And her team basically reached out and said, take down the video. And I said, F you. And then they got the video taken down themselves through YouTube. But yeah, she's a bizzle. I'll tell her that again.
One of my favorite jokes from a comic right now is Jeff.
Really?
Yeah. If Lizzo is so pretty, why do women get mad when I say you look like Lizzo? That's a checkmate.
I tell skinny chicks now, like these like wokey kind of like skinny white chicks, I go, oh my gosh, you look very pretty. And like, thank you. I was like, you look like Dylan Mulvaney. And they're like, I was like, well, what? We're all playing along that she's a gorgeous woman and Lizzo's a big, beautiful lady.
They just go to you, you know what we mean.
Yeah. Turns out you're all full of shit.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But people don't understand gray matter. So instead, they'd rather pick white or black, and then they would rather go all in on one side because...
You're here to show your it's not your brain. Calm down.
Sorry.
What's the smartest way to cheat on a man?
The smartest way to cheat is don't. Just because they're doing bad shit, you know, you're a lady. Hold yourself to a higher standard. Let them cheat, and then, you know, just be a good woman. If you don't know what to do, go find a hobby. Go do the dishes. Go learn how to do your makeup better. Go learn how to do lashes. Let them cheat. That's not what we do. We're ladies, okay?
If a girl wanted to cheat,
don't. Be a good woman. We don't have enough good women now.
How do you become a good woman?
Don't cheat. Let him cheat as long as it's with a condom. That's it.
Nah. No one should be cheating. A good woman doesn't deserve to be cheated on. No one should be cheating. They should be holding it down for each other. Loyalty should come from both sides. Of course, there's a lot of rich people out there where, you know, the girls know what they're getting themselves into. That's different. But yeah, cheating is a scumbag thing to do from both sides. A good woman doesn't deserve to be cheated on, nor does a good man. Shouldn't happen. And a man who can't control his lust is a weak man.
So what do you do for a living? You know, I'm the CEO of my OnlyFans account. I'm an entrepreneur and I invest. So you say ass, huh? No, I'm a boss. I work for myself. I am the CEO of a Fortune 500 business. Do you sniff the dirt under the fucking keyboard keys? Because, bitch, you might want to stop. You sell ass. I'm a fucking independent woman. You heard what I said?
Yeah, it's funny because it's so accurate. It's so funny when you hear these girls, you know, selling cheeks for $4.99 and they're talking about they're a boss and they're all this stuff when you're just avoiding the word we all know you are, and that's a bizzle.
What you should be doing to get girls? I know this is gonna sound crazy. You should be focused on your goals and your purpose. When you're purpose-driven, you develop riches. And when you're pleasure-driven, you develop addictions. So I feel like you should be focused on your purpose. And anything that's not in alignment with your purpose, you won't even have time for it. But if it is in alignment and it adds value, then I say, you know, pursue it. If not, you know, remove it.
Yeah, and I said this to a clip we did in a video a few days ago about if you focus on yourself, improving yourself physically, mentally, financially, those women that you're seeking will come to you. You haven't got to go looking for them.
She thinks that stay-at-home moms should get a very hefty salary from their husbands. Listen to this.
If you are a stay-at-home mom, you should be receiving a salary from your husband. If you are a stay-at-home mom, otherwise known as a non-compensated working mom, and you are married to a man...
Non-compensated.
Your husband, the compensated partner, should be paying for the uncompensated labor. You're going to be paying for a chauffeur, a chef, a nanny, a project manager for the house. In fact, recent data has shown that stay-at-home moms, non-compensated working parents, if you had to pay them a salary, it would be at least $175,000 a year. So if you are a non-compensated working mom, if you are a stay-at-home mom, you deserve a salary from your husband.
Does he not compensate enough by doing what he's doing anyway? Working all the hours, protecting and providing for his family, putting a roof over their head, putting food on the table, going out, breaking his back every day for that. Isn't that enough? Some of these women are lost, man.
What is the reason that you would risk so much to date a single mom? Because dating a single mom, it comes with more to lose. You could date a man that has great potential. He has a great head on his shoulder. He has great values. He has great morals, and he has goals, and he's ambitious. But he's just in the process where he's working to build that for himself, because they want the success of it at the end, because they want to be there in the good times, not the hard times. That's all you feel like you can get. Then you know what? You need to work harder at becoming a better you, because at the end of the day, if you're dating a single mom, you are risking more long term. And if she feels like you're beneath her, if you feel like that's the reason that you guys are dating, because you feel like you can't get better, then guess what? You're just going to be her simp.
I know there's a lot of people, you guys might disagree with me, but I have a bit of a different take on this. Of course, dating a single mother is risky, but to put all of them in the same bracket saying, yeah, you should never date a single mum no matter what, no matter how good of a person she is. There's plenty of women out there who have been screwed over by a scumbag of a bloke and been left with the kids. There's plenty of good women out there with kids, single mums. Yeah, there's a lot of bad ones, but there are good ones too. Of course, preferably, you want to, meet a woman and have your own kids. That's obviously the priority. But if you come across a good woman and she ticks all the boxes and, there's no issues there, that can happen. My mum was a victim of a scumbag of a bloke. My dad was a scumbag and got left with the kids. And my mum is one of the best people in the world. Starting another man's saved progress, yeah, that's a decision you gotta make. But you just gotta be careful. But to say every single one is a no-go, nah, man, I don't necessarily agree with that.
She met a man on this dating app. She posted this photo, and then she showed up as this, and the man was upset because Yikes. He was like, you ain't who you said.
All I'm gonna say is, if you go on a girl's dating profile and all it is neck and face in every single photo, yeah, be careful with those ones. Been there, done that.
You don't look like your photos. And she was like, no, I look exactly like my photos, y'all. No filter. So she was upset because at the end of the day, he was basically expecting her to pay. She didn't have any money. So he paid. And then when she got in the car or got home, he sent her a Cash App request. And she was just like...
That guy just pulled the Uno reverse card. Now she knows how it feels to be a bloke.
Yeah. It's going to be a trillion fat asses on your timeline.
Right. And then the thing about ass, and you see these girls, I mean, think about it, fellas. I want everybody listening around the world, listen to me. Would you really date a woman that's showing all her body on Instagram?
Nope.
Hell no.
Not long term.
No. Because here's the thing. It's a lot of beautiful girls, right?
Right.
But you don't want to date her and treat her good to go out and everybody else seeing her, But as a man, you can't check her. You can't say, hey, because when a person is grown, you can only make a suggestion. You can't tell a female what to do.
Exactly.
So if she wants to show a body, you can't change her. You just get a new bitch.
But see, TK, there's confusion about that. There's confusion because women are saying, this is a new day. This is a new age. We could dress how we want.
No, you didn't hear what I said. You can't change them. You get who you want and like that dresses the way you want. But you can't tell that woman how to dress. No, I'm agreeing.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys who are happy being simps and want to be simps, and they can date those people. But no man wants to be walking around with a girl who everyone has seen 99% naked online. Nah.
With you. You can't tell a female how to dress. Yeah, I'm agreeing with the women. You can't. But I could find somebody who dressed the way I like them to dress, and I'm not going to have no problem. Back when I was growing up, lingerie was the shit when you came over a woman's house. These bitches wearing it outside with Air Force Ones.
This is the thing. Take lust out the question, and a lot of us would rather pick, the chick who dresses modestly. That's what a lot of these guys have got to think. Yeah, sure, those women are good to look at, but the fact they're outside in public doing that is wild. If she does that behind closed doors, just with you two, great. But outside in the street for other people to see and getting validation and attention from other dudes when you're around or when you're not around, no thanks.
See my tires flat and I'm around all these cars and all these men act like they don't have no time. It's this nice man, y'all can see him walking because he walking back to get his jack.
He probably saw you a strong, independent woman, so he left you to it.
He is the only man that actually tried to stop and help me with my fucking tire. All of you men that saw me, y'all are a bunch of bitches. Because if I was just standing outside, y'all would try to holler at me. But you see me with my tire flat and you can't do anything? Fucking ill, little bitty boys.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
Okay, I have a question for you, Clementine. It's a very simple question, but I think it'll be an interesting question to ask you. What is a woman?
Oh, here we go.
Here's, I'm not going down the path of debating trans women with you.
I didn't mention
women.
trans women. I asked you what a woman is.
Okay, I'll tell you. But I know that because this is your tactic.
Yeah.
This is what you do. What is a woman? I'll tell you what a woman is.
It shouldn't be controversial.
I'll tell you what a woman is. A woman is someone who has at least at one point in her life felt scared of a man.
What? Oh my! I've heard it all now.
Sorry?
So
But you guys never want to talk about that.
Hang on.
You guys
That's
never want
the
to talk
dumbest thing I've
about
ever
that.
heard. So any man who's ever felt afraid of another man is a woman.
No.
That's
That's
hilarious.
not what I'm saying.
You know,
That's
this is
not what
exactly
I'm
why
saying.
you're wearing that shirt that says repeal. You should put the 19th under it. It's unbelievable. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
A woman, anybody who has ever at one point been afraid of a man, it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Do you have an actual argument here?
Would you let me finish speaking, or do you
Yeah,
two
how
just
long
plan
is it going to
interrupt
take for
people
you
all
to
night long?
finish? How long is it going to take for you to finish?
Yes, do you really just invite people on your show to be interrupted like this?
Well, Clementine, look, with all due respect, we did do a bit of research into what you said about me in the past, so I think I'm entitled to give you...
So you already know what I think about that question, because I've written about you asking that
Yes,
question.
you have. In fact, you said, like all of the...
This woman who just said what she said, her family, generations, you know, went through far worse things than what she's going through. And they had kids, and then they had kids, and they had kids, and they had kids, and then the generation ended up with her. She is a failure and a letdown to a whole bloodline just by saying what she said.
Why would you ask it again when you know what my
I'm just
answer to
to
that
enlighten
is?
the audience who have no idea what you're talking about,
Okay.
or me. Like all of the bigots, that's me apparently, currently jumping on the transphobic shuttle to Ding Dong Station. Morgan wants you to believe this is about fairness and equality, specifically fairness and equality in women's sports. That was exactly what it was about. And the problem is, Clementine, with all due respect to you, the reality is...
I doubt it. I doubt it's coming with due
I'll
respect.
treat you with perfect respect, but your inability to just simply state what a woman actually is, particularly given 2 weeks ago in the UK, the Supreme Court made it very clear that a woman is a biological female. That's it. It's a science.
We've taken a lot of L's recently, the UK, but that was the W we got, surprisingly.
Fact. The fact that you can't answer that is part of the problem.
The thing is that I would like to know why you, in particular, are so obsessed with this definition of what a woman is. Firstly, how does it impact you in any way? Secondly,
I have a 13-year-old daughter.
As a woman,
I have a 13-year-old daughter. And if my 13-year-old daughter decides she wants to compare... You ask me a question. You ask me a question, I'm going to answer you. Well, if you don't want an answer, don't ask me a question. Here's my answer to your question. I have a 13-year-old...
You asked me. You won't let me
I have a
answer.
13-year-old daughter. I have 7 nieces, right? And some of them
you're
are
a real
very...
expert then on
So
women,
if I may
guess.
answer your question, some of them are very good at sport, right? The idea that they would one day have their dream of potentially an Olympic place or a Team GB place, whatever it may be, a world championship place, taken from them by a biological male.
Soon as they asked at the start, what is a woman? I already know this was going to be a long one. Always is.
Is completely outrageous. And by the way, so does most of the world now, which is why there's been a reversing, screeching U-turn on this particular subject. But I come back to my question to you. Your inability to say what a woman is, and yet here you are lecturing women on how they should behave as women, is completely perverse.
Does this woman not feel ashamed or embarrassed? Like, hasn't she got a family? Like, kids, husband? Well, she probably don't have that, but... her parents, like, do they not feel embarrassed by what she's saying? I've heard a lot of stupid shit in my time. This definitely tops it. I mean, I was not expecting her to say a woman is somebody who's been scared of a man in their lifetime. Like, what the f is going on?